Have you ever paused to consider that invisible asset? The
Mhm.
one maybe humming away right under your nose? Or, well, more accurately,
Under the Wi-Fi router.
exactly. Have you truly explored its hidden potential? We're talking about something you already pay for, something that, well, for most of us, sits largely untapped, a
Yeah,
lot of the time.
right. It's just sitting there.
Okay, so let's unpack this for our deep dive today.
Let's do it.
Because we are diving into the fascinating world of monetizing your unused internet bandwidth.
Yeah, that spare capacity.
That's right, making money from the spare capacity of your internet connection. It sounds a bit futuristic, maybe?
A little bit, but it's very real.
Incredibly accessible and, for the savvy among us, quite clever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's truly fascinating here, and maybe essential to understand right away,
Okay.
is the absolute legitimacy of it and the the powerful economic forces driving this whole concept.
So it's not some kind of shady thing.
No, not at all. That's what some might think, right?
Yeah.
Like some shady hacking scheme or something
Okay,
dodgy.
you could see that.
But it's quite the opposite. You've got legitimate companies, researchers, developers.
Like who? What kinds?
Well, think market intelligence firms, cybersecurity outfits,
Mm-hmm.
people who have a profound, genuine need for access to vast amounts of real global internet data.
Okay.
And specifically from residential IP addresses. That's the key.
Why residential? What's special about my home connection?
Well, think about the challenges they face. They might be trying to understand, say, global market prices for a product, or track how a brand is perceived in different regions, or run security tests from genuinely diverse locations.
Right, not just from a big server farm somewhere.
Exactly. Or even just verifying that online ads are actually showing up correctly to users in, say, France versus Japan.
Okay, I get that.
Traditional centralized data centers, they often just can't authentically replicate those unique geolocated data points.
Huh.
The perspective that a real home internet connection provides and building server infrastructure everywhere,
Must be incredibly expensive.
massively, logistically and financially. So they tap into this decentralized network instead.
Our networks.
Yeah, relying on the collective unused bandwidth of everyday users like you to gather this critical real-world data.
It sounds like a pretty elegant solution, actually.
It really is, to a very complex data acquisition problem.
So that distinction, the need for residential IPs, that's really the core of why our home connections have value here.
Precisely. It's not just about the raw speed or bandwidth amount.
Uh-huh.
It's about that unique perspective our IP addresses offer from a specific location.
Okay, so if these companies are solving their big data problem this way, what does it actually look like for us, for the user?
Right.
Is it complicated? Do I need to be like a tech whiz?
No, not at all. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it for the user. From your perspective, the mechanics are surprisingly straightforward. You basically just install a small, lightweight application onto your device.
What kind of device?
Could be your computer, your phone, maybe even a smart TV, or a little dedicated device like a Raspberry Pi if you're into that.
Okay.
And these apps are designed to be minimally intrusive. They just run quietly, often almost invisibly, in the background.
And what are they actually doing back there?
Well, what they do is they route a small portion of specific non-sensitive internet traffic.
Non-sensitive.
Yeah, typically through a secure proxy or like a VPN tunnel using your unused upload bandwidth mostly.
Upload.
And the design really prioritizes security and privacy. So the traffic's encrypted, and it ensures your personal data, your browsing history, none of that is ever accessed or shared.
That's crucial.
Definitely. It's essentially like a controlled, secure microtunnel within your existing internet connection.
Okay, so it's not like they're just grabbing all my internet or looking over my shoulder.
Not at all.
It's more like this dedicated, secure lane for very specific anonymous traffic that addresses a big potential worry right there.
Absolutely.
But let's dig a little deeper into the user experience. How does this actually impact my day-to-day internet use?
Good question.
Like, am I going to notice lag when I'm trying to stream a movie or jump on a video call? What about my data cap, if I have one?
That's a really crucial question, yeah. And it's where the design of these, well, the reputable services really shines.
Okay.
They are specifically engineered to primarily use your upload bandwidth,
Right, you mentioned that.
which for most home users is significantly underutilized. Just think about it. You download vastly more data than you typically upload.
Yeah, absolutely. Downloads are way higher.
So most services also have like smart throttling mechanisms built in,
Meaning,
meaning They'll automatically pause or just reduce their activity if your own network usage spikes up.
So if I start a big download or a game.
Exactly. It ensures your primary activities, streaming, gaming, those important video calls, they remain unaffected.
That's smart. What about power use and the data cap thing?
Good points. We're talking really negligible power consumption, often less than, say, charging your phone.
Wow. Okay.
And a pretty minimal impact on your data cap. Typically, these services might use maybe a few gigabytes up to perhaps 50 or 100 gigabytes a month, which for most people on broadband with standard plans or unlimited data is usually well within their allowance.
Right. Most plans are pretty generous these days, or unlimited.
Exactly. And the reputable providers, they're transparent about this stuff. They detail their data usage, the impact on performance.
So you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, the whole goal is truly passive operation. It lets you quietly turn this like dormant resource into something productive without disrupting your life.
That's actually quite reassuring. So, okay, we've got legitimate companies needing specific data on one side, and on the other, we've got us, users with internet connections that are often underutilized, able to participate with, it sounds like, minimal fuss and impact.
Pretty much.
So when we zoom out and think about the individual user, what's really striking, what's fascinating here is just the sheer passivity of this potential income stream.
That's a great way to put it.
We often talk about passive income, but usually it requires, a big initial investment or special skills or some complex setup.
Right. It's often not truly passive at the start.
But with this bandwidth sharing thing, it seems remarkably simple.
Exactly. That's one of the key benefits for you, the user.
Yeah.
It is genuinely passive income.
Meaning
you really don't trade your time for money here. Once that little app is installed, there's basically no active time investment needed from you. You don't need special tech skills or expertise.
just set it and forget it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Most users genuinely won't even notice it running day to day, precisely because of those smart throttling things and the focus on upload bandwidth we talked about.
Right.
It just kind of hums along quietly in the background, generating a little extra for you. It really is the epitome of earning without effort, just from a resource you already have and pay for.
And this feels like a really crucial point we need to be upfront and realistic about.
Okay, yeah. Let's ground this.
This isn't going to make you rich overnight, is it?
Oh, definitely not. Let's be crystal clear on that.
We should probably think more like coffee money, right? Not mortgage money.
That's the perfect analogy. Coffee money, maybe pizza money, not mortgage money.
Yeah, we're not talking about replacing your main income here. You won't be buying a yacht with your bandwidth earnings.
No.
No matter how fast your fiber connection is.
Sadly, no yacht.
But consider this. How many little subscriptions do you pay for every month that just add up?
Good point. Streaming services.
Your Netflix, your Spotify premium, maybe that monthly app fee you forgot about, or your favorite news subscription.
Yeah, they do add up quickly.
Imagine those getting covered just by letting your internet connection idle efficiently in the background.
That reframes it a bit, doesn't it?
Or maybe it's enough for your morning coffee habit, like we said. Or a few audiobooks a month, or even just chipping away at, say, your phone bill.
Yeah.
It's money you're getting for something you're already paying for and mostly not actively using.
Right. Found money, essentially.
Yeah. When you put it that way, a few extra dollars each month from literally doing nothing, that feels like found money, which is always welcome.
And this is precisely where, if we look at the bigger picture, the broader implications,
Okay.
the real magic maybe isn't solely in the dollar amount itself.
Yeah.
However nice it is to cover those little expenses.
What is it then?
It's about a fundamental shift, I think, in perception, in mindset.
How so?
This simple act, monetizing a bit of unused bandwidth, it starts to train your brain. It trains you to see value where maybe you previously saw nothing.
Interesting.
It encourages you to look beyond the obvious things, to question what resources you possess that are currently just dormant, sitting there.
So it's like exercise for your financial brain.
Kind of. It's a subtle, but I think quite powerful change in how you approach resources and opportunities generally.
Okay.
So it's not just about earning a few extra bucks, though that's nice. It's about cultivating a completely new mindset.
Right.
One that actively seeks out and tries to leverage untapped potential. You could think of it as like a low-stakes training ground for developing a higher-level kind of financial intelligence. seeing opportunities others miss.
You know, that transformative mindset you're describing, for me, that's actually the most valuable takeaway here. More than the coffee money, maybe.
Really? Why is that?
It's almost like this small, simple act of sharing a bit of bandwidth. It just opens up a new way of seeing the world around you.
Yeah.
We're so accustomed, aren't we, to thinking about earning money in very traditional boxes. You know, a job, a salary, maybe investing in stocks if you're savvy.
The standard routes.
Exactly. But when you start to seriously consider these innovative kind of micro opportunities, like selling a tiny fraction of your spare internet connection, it just broadens your whole perspective.
It breaks the mold a bit.
Totally. You begin to see potential money not just in those conventional roles, but in clever, unexpected places, places you might have just dismissed before as nothing. It becomes about leveraging what you already have rather than constantly thinking you need to strive to acquire new, complex assets or learn difficult new skills all the time.
That's a great point. It's about resourcefulness with what's at hand.
Yeah. It really challenges our ingrained assumptions about what even constitutes a valuable resource.
Yeah.
It makes you learn to ask, okay, what am I already sitting on that could be doing more for me?
Exactly. And this profound shift, this mental training we're talking about, it essentially turns your brain into, well, maybe like a wealth detective.
Huh, I like that, a wealth detective.
You start questioning things differently. What else am I paying for? Or what else do I possess that has untapped value?
Right.
Where else in my daily life is there maybe an invisible asset just sitting there, waiting to be recognized and utilized? It really reinforces this powerful idea that wealth, in its many forms, often hides in plain sight.
It's not always obvious.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's not always about inventing something entirely new or making some huge leap. Sometimes it's simply about reevaluating what's already present and finding a novel, maybe simple way to extract value from it.
Can you give another example? Beyond bandwidth.
Sure. Consider this. Maybe you have a skill, something you're good at, but you rarely use it in your day job.
Okay.
Could you offer that as like a microservice online in your spare time? Or think about a spare room in your house that just sits empty most of the year.
Instead of potentially generating income.
Right. Or even just that pile of unused stuff in your garage or closet that could potentially be sold online.
Yeah, decluttering and making cash.
Exactly. This deep dive into bandwidth, it's just one very concrete example, but the underlying principle, it's super widely applicable.
So it reframes how we look at our own resources.
Totally.
And by extension, maybe our own financial potential.
I think so. It encourages a more creative and resourceful approach.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Yeah, the bottom line.
Well, next time you log into your Wi-Fi, maybe just pause for a second, take a breath, and remember, you might just be sitting on a little money-making machine that's been humming quietly there in your living room or your office all along.
Waiting to be noticed.
Yeah, just waiting for you to recognize its potential. It's actually a fantastic reminder, I think, that innovation and opportunity aren't always these grand, sweeping gestures.
Right, not always world-changing ideas.
Sometimes they're incredibly simple, sitting right under our noses, if only we learn to look with a fresh pair of eyes.
And that, I think, raises a really important final question for you, our listener, to maybe mull over.
Okay, what's that?
Where else? Where else in your daily life are you perhaps overlooking potential value? An invisible asset just waiting to be recognized and utilized.
That's a good challenge.
Maybe it's a skill you rarely use, like we said.
Yeah.
Or maybe a piece of equipment that's mostly idle. Or even just physical space in your home.
Yeah.
The principle of finding that hidden value, it's potentially everywhere. And this deep dive today is really just one starting point for that kind of exploration.
It's a great thought to end on. We invite you to ponder that, to keep your curiosity sparked.
Definitely.
And to continue your own exploration of these kinds of hidden opportunities in your world. There's potentially so much more to discover when you start looking with that fresh perspective and maybe with that newfound wealth detective mindset.